Hello everyone. In this video, we'll try to understand, the different data types for MySQL. So we already know what is table, right? So we in our previous video we have seen that. So table is the organized way of the storing or collecting the data in the form of rows and columns, right? So now when you want to create any table, obviously, right? So you need to provide the metadata in the sense like what. So let's say if we want to store details about a student, right? So the metadata would be the student name, roll number, the parent's name, the class, all those things, right? So the student name, class, parent details, right? The score he scored, all these are columns, right? So for these columns we need data types, right? Because we are storing a data, right, in the columns. So each column should have some data type, right? So like the similar data types what we have in Python. But in Python, typically any programming language will have data type for processing the data, where in case of the database will have data types to store the data in the particular format. Yep. So now if you see, these are the the data types which are available, like integer, decimal. That we know what is integer, decimal, right? Varchar is nothing but a string, right? So char means character, which is like one word. Boolean means either true or false, right? And we have a date time. So again, in the date time, we know you can take only date, you can take only year, you can take only time, right? There are few other formats, right? Maybe which advanced formats which we are going to discuss in our the upcoming videos. But yeah, these are the the basic data types which are available in MySQL. So the other important thing which I want to discuss is constraints. See, they are like constraints like primary key, unique key, not null, check, foreign key, right? So in this video, we'll discuss primarily two things like primary key and unique key. Yes, the not null, foreign key. These are also very, very important constraints which we are going to discuss in our upcoming videos. So coming to the primary key, so it's a unique value for a given row in a table. When you talk about unique key, it's again the same. But what is the major difference? When you talk about the primary key, let's say if we have 100 records. In 100 records, the primary key should be unique, right? Let's say for example, student ID, right? Obviously, two students will not have a same student ID, right? Or the roll number, right? So primary key can't be a null. You have to enter the data. In case of primary key, you have to enter the data. Null means an empty value. When you talk about the unique key, it can be null. Uh, for example, a mobile number, right? So obviously, mobile number is a unique key for a particular row, right? But yes, there might be few people who don't have a mobile number, right? I mean, that's not the case nowadays. Everyone has a mobile number, but for an example, right? So when you're creating a table, obviously, right? So we have to provide the name of the columns, right? Like the student name, roll number, etc., etc. So you can have only one primary key in a table, but when you talk about the unique key, you can have n number of unique keys in a table. Clear? So in this video, we discussed about the basic data types, why the data types are required for data types, and the two major constraints like primary key and unique key. Hope you enjoyed this video. In our next video, we'll talk about how to create a table, alter a table, right? So we actually call it DDL, data description language. So when you're creating, when you're dealing with, creating a table, right, and altering a table, all those things, right? So we call it DDL. Even the dropping the table also call it DDL, right? So hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.